Hey there, guys. Adam from Action Esports. First of all, congratulations. That was a really tight match. Really exciting to watch. So I'm just curious. In that last team fight at the very end of Game 7, you guys were able to get that last point of damage on because minions taking your tower in the top lane back and giving you that 4-tower shot. So tell me, how aware were you of the timing of that, and how did you factor that in while dealing with the mayhem of that last team fight?
So we all died on bot, and then Jay respawned, and then we realized that we were going to go for all the towers at the same time to try and just shoot the core. Would be cool that we should do the top pumpkin camp, because otherwise they would take our tower, right? We managed to narrowly defend it anyway, but I don't think we actually realized that the pumpkins were going to take the top 4 until it happened. Because we ended up saving our fort anyway, so I don't think it really mattered. But I think it kind of accidentally took the fort, and I was trying to like hastily call that we could give up the top one because we got theirs, but it ended up not really mattering because I think we ended up with 5 shots at the end anyway. So I think it wasn't too important, but yeah, I guess it was nice that we got it because it could have been a lot closer.
So, in previous interviews, you said that you thought Tempo Storm was going to give you the most issue, but you just you still managed to get out of the win. Congratulations, by the way. But Zealots give you a lot of hassle as well. So, was it unexpected for you?
I think the hardest part about playing Zealots are that their drafts are very different from other teams. Tempo Storm are very predictable. They usually go for either their double support with triple melee or even quadra or 5 melees. It's like a lot easier to draft against that because you can always keep it in mind, but you never know what ADRD is going for. And it's either Medivh or it's Tass or it's Abba or it's something like that. And maybe it's just something that we need to work on and play against more to be more comfortable playing against. But other than that, Zealots played incredible today as well, so not much more than that.
Yeah, I think actually something I would add to that actually is even when we talk about predictability, it's sometimes the thing with Zealots is the only time you get experience against Zealots is when you play against Zealots. No other team is like that, and sometimes we even know what they're gonna pick, right? We know they have 3 paths they want to go, but we can't ban them all, so we're gonna end up giving something comfort, and they're just really good at playing all these little unique styles. And I think that really adds a lot of depth to the draft because it's very hard to ban them out because even if you take out one sort of weird niche, they immediately have another lined up, and I think that's what makes them so strong in the draft.
You just mentioned the difficulties drafting and banning against them. The 2 heroes that brought you a bit of issue and that you made an emphasis to ban or just take for yourselves was Chris's Tracer or AARD's Medivh. So can you describe the mental battle you guys go through when a map is selective and you have to decide whether you want to ban them first or even have Poik take Tracer to just deny Chris it altogether?
I think every draft it's actually kind of a mess. We found ourselves what do we don't want to play against the most? Are we going to take the Tracer? Are we going to take the Diablo? Cursed Hollow was one of the prime examples where we couldn't remove them all, or maybe we could have, but we didn't quite have the time in the draft. It really is, a puzzle, right? Especially from Zealots. They really had some magic this tournament. They were probably the scariest team to draft against, I don't know, in the whole tournament, maybe in the whole season so far. I don't know.
So throughout the series, and especially in Game 7, there were a lot of team fights that seemed to go in your favor early, and then there was kind of a swing back to the favor of the Zealots. Every team fight seemed just really, really close, and you never knew exactly which way it was going to turn out. From your point of view, what kind of was it just you guys playing around each other so well? Was it just that competition level so high? Was it just clean engagements or unclean engagements, mess ups on your part, their part? What was your perception of these team fights and what made them so close?
I think team fights against Medivh are always messy because if you get the pick before they get the shield out or you get the pick after the shield, the fight is pretty much over and you win it. But if they get that shield and they get out and they can reset and then they come back in again, it's very scary, especially when they have Stuko and Lyric 20 with the Silence and Tomb. So I'm not really sure. Like the Medivh team fights just are messy in general, especially with Polybomb and the Tracer 20. It's really scary.
So we saw this for Zealots, especially in how they have to play games after game after game. But for you, playing the 6 games in a row for this final match, what's the mental strain like for the team by the end of that Towers of Doom map?
I mean, we didn't have the greatest dinner either. Just when I woke up, very, very exhausted. You know, after the game, we're just kind of hugging each other, but not really hugging, just kind of like laying on each other, because we're so exhausted and screaming. Your mind is fried, right? You're so happy it's over, with a win especially. I don't know. We're all kind of experienced, but this series, I'm sure it took a toll on basically all of us.
What was that dinner?
I had some cookies. They were pretty good. I liked them. I would rate the cookies well. I think I had a banana as well.
Oh, yeah.
Banana, potassium, that's important.
3 Red Bulls and a banana.
Zealots ended up taking the first 2 maps after you guys had the 1-0 advantage just based off the winner's bracket advantage. What was the discussion like internally after that second loss, to where maybe you guys needed to regroup, or what was really going through your minds after dropping that second game to kind of lose that advantage you had initially?
Test?
I'd say when I play and when I draft and when I lead, same in China, is that we try to start on our weakest, like on our weaker maps. They obviously started on Volskaya, and then we gave them to pick map again. And it's a best of 7, and it's going to be a lot of maps. So that's why we kind of expected to lose the 2 first. We did against Ballistics in China as well. I've done when we play with Fnatic against Dig, like the last mid-season, we always start on our worst map for some reasons. So even after losing the first one and the second one, we knew, okay, we're gonna have good maps coming. We have our warm-up. Like we learned a bit about their drafts because we never really scrimmed them. So this is the games we get against them. So yeah, I hope no one in the team like feels down after 2 losses, because it's kind of planned in one way. Even though we might think we're the stronger team, it didn't work out the best way maybe. But yeah.
So other than you guys winning the tournament, which was predicted, everything else, all of the predictions were kind of thrown out the window, including to an extent the Zealots giving you as much trouble as they did in the finals. So what do you think is at the core of the discrepancy and the volatility within the tournament of what teams were successful, what teams were falling flat?
I think it was just very hard to predict how some of these teams would mash up on like an international scale. Like Zealots came in with an amazing amount of preparation. Like you could tell that they knew exactly what they wanted to play. Like they came in very prepared for every series they took, pretty much except the first one. Like they had the first one, which they lost, and it seemed pretty handedly. And then ever since then they turned it on, and it was just, series after series they were just dominating people. So, and I think teams like Freedom, like, we saw them in scrims and they were good, but they just couldn't translate it to the stage, I think a lot of the predictions, it's just based off the HGC, which I think is fair. But I think it's tough to tell, like, when some teams are just going to be able to turn it on like that. And I think Zealots is just the prime example of a team that, when it came to their moment, they had it, and we almost fell to the plot armor ourselves by the end of the Cinderella story. But we managed to get our own redemption in the form of being the team that beat us, so I think that's a little nice ending. And it made it feel a lot better to win as well. So,
can you guys describe the communication that goes through the team, especially in that last objective when it's just complete and utter chaos? So how do you guys stay composed in those final moments, or are you guys even freaking out and just yelling stuff? And how's that really work internally?
You see a hero, you scream the name and hope it dies.
Especially against Medivh, you know, we're too chaotic to time the shields because there's so many cooldowns flying everywhere and everyone's just using every skill off cooldown that none of us are tracking the shield. Maybe I should be doing that because I died instantly. That might have been the right play. But, you know, everybody's just throwing cooldowns like constantly, and like every time like, you know, Jay sees a charge or something, I immediately start screaming at whoever he's on. You know, I'm trying to get Poik to follow up. Like Poik sees he can damage someone, we immediately start screaming. You know, it was basically just screaming target after target because someone takes the portal out, and we immediately switch to someone else. And even at the end when Tracer and Medivh are the only ones alive, and Leoric's like slowly respawning, but they're dying around on like 1 HP, and we can't kill either of them, and it's super, super messy. But yeah, it's definitely a lot of screaming. I wouldn't call it composed. I don't think composed is the right word to describe our comms in that fight.
I think, you know, we call ourselves professionals and we're probably supposed to stay calm, but I don't know what it is, you know, that's probably the magic of the whole competing thing. In those last moments, intense moments, you really get into it, you just cannot do anything but get excited. You get the shakes on, you're screaming, you know, you just kind of lose it a bit, no matter what almost.
Just a final question for Zelia. Oh, go ahead, Jake. No, please.
No, I agree with them. Like the last action, like the last team fight, I was not even listening to them. You know, like I was just doing my own thing and expected. I mean, I was too excited. But yeah, I was not even. I mean, I couldn't hear them actually because of the pressure or whatever. Like kill. Yeah, like it was going everywhere and stuff. Like I just hope that maybe one of the shots will get something and then they will do their thing on their side. But actually, it's the first time I think in my career that the communication becomes messy because like the series was actually really hard, and it was actually a nice feeling to be that excited. I didn't listen to you guys.
Yeah, I think when we've had series like this before, and it's been these high pressure moments, it always feels like the last game has been kind of a letdown. Like the MSV, our final game, we just got destroyed. Like we just sat there and lost, and it was like there was no like high stakes pressure moment where it's like this team fight actually decides the game. Like it was super even. Like MSB, we just lost the last game just straight up. But this, it was a super even game, literally down to the wire. So I think, yeah, we've never really been in this position where it's the pinnacle of the tournament, it's the absolute apex of that game, it's the ultimate team fight. Like, I think it just, everybody kind of lost it in that moment for sure.
Towers of Doom, great map.
All right, guys, we have time for a few more questions. Did anyone have any questions before I hand it off to Tim and Adam?
I already have one. So do we.
1, 2, 3.
So now obviously that you have won the entire Western Clash, what are the plans for now? Are you going to take it off a little bit, relax a little bit, or go straight back to work?
I mean, I would like to get some vacation, please, guys. Like 3 weeks is fine. No, I guess we need to actually relax for at least minimum 1 week, please. I mean, yes, we should relax, please. Yeah, we really need to relax.
Any plans on what you're going to do?
Just relax.
Sleep a lot. Yeah, I mean, we'll definitely take time off. We have, obviously, the Eastern Clash is coming, so it gives us a nice, 3-week break. So I think we'll all probably, spend at least, a week and a half or something. Just 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks off. Maybe 3 weeks off. Depends how Jay feels. But yeah, we'll definitely take some time off before we get back to the grind. But obviously, we do have to start a little bit before HGC, so we can't take too much time. But I think we've definitely earned some, at the very least.
Okay.
Lost in the celebration. Zelia, can you confirm as to whether you dropped the trophy?
You know, no one saw it, so I cannot confirm exactly what happened, but there might have been a slight mishandling of the beauty to my right.
Potential objects dedicated to victims. Yeah.
Exactly.
Is something missing here, Ken?
If anyone's heard of the subreddit live stream fail, I think we'll probably end up on there later. So I'm looking forward to catching Zelia on the front page.
All right, so you guys, with your strong showing in the regular season and just your absolute dominance here, you guys are going to be having kind of a target on your back going back into the regular season. So what are your goals going forward? What's your strategy for how to handle the new pressure of being the team to beat?
I'd say our goal is to probably not fumble in the games and when we dropped the series against Zealots, it was very unpredictable and kind of embarrassing. Maybe none less now when they show that they are really good. But I think our goal is to not focus on not dropping a single map. I think we just want to have clean series, not build up too much pressure, and make sure that we don't drop that single series.
Hey guys, I'm going to ask you a question that I'm curious about. So recently with this Western Clash, we kind of changed how it works to not only you guys winning the trophy and the $100,000, but also earning a spot for your region at the mid-season brawl. How did that affect, I guess, camaraderie among the European or North American teams? Do you feel like you had more people cheering for you, or did that affect your guys' mindset at all?
I think actually we kind of stopped thinking about it. I think it's really nice that we won. I think it's really going to be really important for the MSB. I'm glad there will be another European team representing us. But I think we kind of lost track about when it seemed like Zealots were going to win against Fnatic, and we suddenly realised we were going to be really scared if they made it to the finals. So suddenly we were less concerned about playing a European team for the spot. Yeah, it is really nice that regardless of what happened, Europe was going to get the additional spot. I think we definitely proved that we deserve it in this tournament.